Tuesday, the 8th of March. Welcome to the program to our viewers here in Nigeria and around the world. This is Business Incorporated. I am Bosin Amafai. Let's get started from the world of commodities. Oil prices edging lower today after Kuwait said it will agree to an output freeze only if all major producers take part in it. Meanwhile, Moody's places Nigeria's BA3 government bond and issuer ratings on review for possible downgrade to assess the extent of the impact of falling oil prices on Africa's biggest economy. Plus, Food and Agriculture Organization appeals for urgent aid for the people in Ethiopia as Africa's most second populous nation faces its worst drought in 50 years. Welcome to the program. Let's get started. And we're starting from the world of oil. Prices edging lower as we speak after Kuwait says it will agree to an output freeze if all major producers take part. And Goldman Sachs analysts poured cold water over the prospects for a sustained rally. Brent crude futures were down 12 cents at $40.72 a barrel, hovering above the $40 mark mid-traded about 3 months ago. On Monday, the contract had climbed 5.5% intraday trading and gained about 50% since June the 20th. U.S. West Texas Intermediate futures were down 10 cents at $37.80 early hours in New York. Kuwait's oil minister says on Tuesday that his country's participation in an output freeze will require all major oil producers, including Iran, to be on the board. The markets are closed in Asia as we speak. So let's look at the markets. The Chinese stocks risen today, shrugging off fresh government data showing Chinese exports down more than expected in February. Exports dropped sharply, falling by 25.4% from a year earlier, while imports was down 13.8%. However, analysts said the data may have been negatively affected by the Chinese Lunar New Year holidays. The Shanghai Composite was up 0.1% at about 2,900 after falling 1.6% in reaction to the latest economic data. However, the Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index finished lower, down 0.75%. The Japan's Nikkei 225 ended Tuesday 0.8% negative to 16,783, marking the lowest close since the beginning of the new month of March. In South Korea, the Kospi Index finished down 0.6%, 1,946. Let's go to Europe now, where today has been a very interesting day with a raft of economic data from two of the largest economies within the region, Germany and France. Let's cross over to the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. DWTV senior business editor Olaf Krieger is standing by live to talk to us today for some of the stories we're seeing. Olaf, a good afternoon to you. Let's start from these data, encouraging economic data from Germany on industrial output and France's slightly narrowing trade deficit. Put this data in context for us as the markets and investors wait on Mario Draghi's ECB meeting.
Well, I would say that it puts a lot of pressure on Mario Draghi, on the European Central Bank, because many investors are desperately waiting for more stimulus for the markets. In other words, waiting for more money coming from the European Central Bank. But there's finally a problem, because the ECB as well as the Federal Reserve in the US are finally running out of munition, and both of them have opened Pandora's box. And until now, there's so incredible much money in the markets. And I think sooner or later they have to change this strategy. But the market here in Frankfurt is still in a good mood compared to other days we saw here in Frankfurt. And there was a short rebound of German top shares. So today everything went pretty good.
Yes, pretty good. The Chinese are also heading for, I think they should be having dinner by now and heading to the bedrooms for the night. So it's been a very positive Tuesday for the Chinese as well, despite the disappointing exports data that we saw. Meanwhile, the Japanese fourth quarter GDP was also revised slightly upward. Do you think these are good news for us to look forward to for the rest of today and the rest of the week from these two big economies within the Asia-Pacific region?
Well, this is a different kind of picture because the Chinese, another gloomy data is coming out from the second largest economy of the world, that really much disappointing, which is because for German companies, another blow, because German machinery and German car makers are very active on this important market. And the Japanese data was highly anticipated by many investors, by many traders down on the floor. But the problem with Chinese is the gloomy data is only one side of this picture, because they have to change, they have to rebuild the whole economy in China, and the majority of analysts, the majority of traders are quite not that much convinced that the Chinese government is able to manage this change.
Olaf, let's chew together some corporate news out of Europe. Let's start from the automaker, the German auto giant Volkswagen.
Yes, Volkswagen is still a very, very big issue here in Frankfurt, because everyone is desperately waiting for some answers coming out of the board from the Volkswagen company. But until now, everyone is just waiting, because obviously no one in the whole company is able or willing to clean up this mess, and this is what investors are desperately waiting for. So, and probably we see some serious so this story is definitely far from over.
No, it's definitely not yet over for Volkswagen. Well, we thank you for your time today. Olaf, do have a great day, and the rest of the GWTV team for us there at the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Now let's come back home. Moody's Investor Services has placed Nigeria's BA3 government bond and issuer ratings on review for possible downgrade. According to the ratings agency, the purpose of the review is to assess the extent of the impact of falling oil prices on the international market. As part of the review, Moody's will assess the credibility and sustainability of the Nigerian government plans and the ability to mitigate the impact of the lower oil prices on the country's credit standing. The rating agency believes the structural shock to the oil market is weakening the Nigerian government's balance sheet and its economy, and therefore also its credit profile. Moody's aims to conclude its review on the country within the next 2 months. Back, we'll talk about the global oil prices. We've seen oil back at $40 a barrel, but that is still a little bit testy, soft as it were, out there. So is the oil price rally sustainable? Kuwait just spoiled the party. Let's talk to our folks at Financial Derivatives in downtown Lagos here. What the latest oil rally and the Kuwait statement, what does it mean? Where were we heading? We'll head at after the break.